As a viewer on the other side of the world, can feel the vibe. Euros just hit different.
I mean, America was crazy because of their fans, but when you come to a European one, Motocross Nations, the whole fans come out, fancy dress, costume, the Irish are dressed up as leprechauns.
I met a gypsy.
And then it also goes back to what we talked about earlier about sort of like frailties and things like that. You know, these guys are so confident, have big egos.
Hunter was in a dark place for sure with those results. Or like, well, not result, like those injuries and then leading it to, you know, where he ended up going.
Well, it's not easy because when you think of what the family has done to get the guys there, you know, selling everything over there, parking briefly in Europe, they needed those results of some sort to sort of show that they could be serious about, you know, going to America. And so far, yeah, you know, when you look at this year in particular, what the two brothers are doing, you can say, yeah, cool, right move, right time, right people around you, managing you, guiding you, all of that kind of stuff. But what you forget is, you know,
what it was built off.
What it was built off, but at the same time, you know, we forget that Hunter has had a couple of years where he's gone over there, and we've expected from this side of the ocean, you know, from the Atlantic, to sort of go, right, he should come in, and everyone talks, yeah, I enjoy Supercross, I prefer Supercross, I like riding Supercross, I can do Supercross, you know, whatever. And then it doesn't happen, and then you got outdoor, and then you're injured, and then you're outdoor getting injured again, and you know, and then it's just kind of like, well, shit, man, I hope this turns around for him. And he's in a position at the moment where it's turning around and it's going good, and you know, it's you know, he's in a, I'm pleased for him because for what they've done, I think people lose sight of, you know, I think in America it's easy to sort of focus inwardly, and you know, for a lot of people who've never traveled outside of America, a lot of them probably even haven't even gone out of state, you know, and I don't mean that sort of like taking the piss or anything like that, but that's the reality.
It is a reality
because of how big those states are and where their lives are and how they live their lives, you know. Where you are from in Australia, you know, you've got, again, massive country, big states, but, you know, get from east to west or north to south or whatever, even get down to New Zealand, you know. A lot of people don't do that. But where we are in Europe, you know, if you get off the mainland in England and then you park yourselves here in Belgium, you know, Dutch Grand Prix, when it used to be at Valkenswaard, from where the race teams are, 15, 20 minutes up the road. Germany, 5 hours down the road. Czech Republic, 7.5 hours. You know, French GP, depending where it is, can be anywhere between sort of like, you know, 5 and 8 or 9 hours. Italy to Trentino, 10 hours. You know, these guys, you know, they're used to being in different countries, open borders, driving from place to place, but it's not easy because when you drive over a border, you got a different language, different culture, different food, you know, different terrain. And so the guys that are, you know, doing that, they did it for a couple of years, you know, parking in Belgium, trying to pick up on a language because most of the time it was, you know, that sort of Dutch Belgian dialect, and a culture that's way different, riding in the sand day in, day out at Lommel or other tracks like it. And so to be there and grind it out and sort of come through the other side also shows a lot, or tells you all you need to know about their character.
Oh yeah.
You know, what the family have kind of given up for them to be there, and whatever was instilled in them to sort of say, dude, this is make or break.
And to handle the moment when they get there and when they do make it too.
And so they were already put under pressure the very moment they set foot on European soil. You know, this is it, this is make or break, because we've got nothing to go back to if this fails. You know, and the fact that they made that work, end up in America, and you know, success is not about the dollars in the bank account. You know, it's coming through those hardships that they've come through. You know, that journey for them has been quite something, and people don't realize that. You know, and not just for them, for Marvin, for Kenny, for you know, all the other riders that came from Europe or from Australia, whether it was Chad or whoever.
Yeah.
You know, to do that same thing. You know, stop in Europe. You know, the weather, the culture, the language, the food, the change, the circuits, the everything, and then to go on and be a success over there, you know, just getting that middle step and building from that was success on its own. You know,
Yeah,
what you did
yeah.
then, you know, to build on that, shows the character of all of those guys that I've just mentioned.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
You know, and it's not easy. You know, you're here in Italy now, and again, I don't know how many times you've never been to Italy, but the language, the food, the menus, the everything, you know, not everybody speaks English.
Yeah.
You know, nothing is written in English, you know. So to be here and to experience that just for a weekend, and then multiply it by 20, and then, you know, all the different places that we go, you soon realize how tough it is just to be here in MXGP.
Yeah.
You know, at least in America, you go state to state, the language is the same, the hire car companies are the same, the flight, airports, everything's the same, all the messages are in the same.
Even today at the Barcelona, I was just like lost. I'm like, mate, what am I doing? I don't know any of the signs. And then you land here, I'm like, where the fuck is Hertz? Like, what's going on?
You know what? My wife and I, we between Switzerland and here, because we flew into Venice, so we had a couple of days in Venice. And even when I collected the hire car on Thursday, driving here, and obviously we take it for granted that there are going to be tolls on the highway, but just pulling up and, you know, taking the ticket and then paying. But if you don't know that there are some cars that have the fast lane, and, you know, otherwise you just sort of like take the ticket and you have to stop and pay the machine, you know, the card machine.
I was so I had 20 euros still in my wallet from last year, and I was so glad that I did, because I completely forgot.
Because I'm just thinking you're going to show up and then you're going to go through the wrong lane in a hire car company, and you're going to be like, yeah man, look at this, no queue, bang bang bang, you hear the beep beep, but well, there won't be a beep because you haven't got the sensor in the car or whatever. So next minute you hire a car and you've got like $500 worth of unpaid tolls. You know, just because you don't know. You know, because there's nothing that clearly marks what the difference is.
You can't read the signs.
Exactly.
We're excited to announce the launch of our new membership site, gypsytales.com, packed with exclusive content and perks that you won't find anywhere else. This is your chance to become a part of the Gypsy Gang. And as a special bonus, if you sign up to an annual membership, you'll be entered into the draw to win our custom-built TC125. Gypsy Gang.